Have you ever stood by the ocean and wondered what is beneath you? Not just the water, but what is at the very bottom? What if I told you that we know more about the surface of Mars than about the floor of our own ocean? What if I told you there are mountains taller than Everest, creatures that glow in the dark, lakes inside the ocean, underwater volcanoes constantly erupting, and even plastic waste in the deepest place on Earth? And here's the scariest part. More than 80% of the ocean remains unexplored. That means most of our planet is still a mystery. Today we are diving all the way down to the ocean floor. And what you're about to hear sounds like science fiction, but it's real. The descent begins. The ocean covers over 70% of Earth's surface. It controls our climate. It produces more than half of the oxygen we breathe. It absorbs carbon dioxide. It regulates temperature. Without the ocean, life would not exist. But the deeper you go, the stranger it becomes. The first 200 meters are called the sunlight zone. This is where most marine life lives. Coral reefs, dolphins, sharks, sea turtles. It looks familiar. Say, whoa. But once you pass 200 meters, the light begins to disappear. At 1,000 meters, sunlight is gone forever. You enter what scientists call the midnight zone. Imagine complete darkness. No sunrise, no sunset, just endless black water. And the pressure? It increases dramatically. Every 10 meters, pressure rises. At 1,000 meters, it's already crushing. A human body would not survive here, but life does. Creatures that glow. In the darkness, evolution did something incredible. Animals learned to create their own light. This is called bioluminescence. Up to 90% of deep-sea creatures glow. Some flash to scare predators. Some blink to communicate. Some lure prey. The anglerfish uses a glowing bait attached to its head. When a smaller fish comes closer, thinking it's food, it becomes food. The vampire squid looks like something from a nightmare. The giant squid can grow longer than a bus. For centuries, sailors believed in sea monsters. Stories of the Kraken may have been inspired by real encounters with giant squid. But we're still not at the bottom. The abyssal plain, the silent desert. At around 4,000 meters, we reach the abyssal plain. This is one of the largest habitats on Earth. And it looks like an alien desert. Flat, cold, endless. The temperature is just above freezing. The pressure is more than 400 times what we feel on land. Yet even here, life survives. Strange sea cucumbers crawl slowly across the mud. Transparent fish drift silently. Creatures survive on something called marine snow, tiny particles of dead plants and animals that slowly fall from above. It is like constant underwater snowfall made of organic dust. This is their only food source. But something even more incredible exists down here. Underwater mountains taller than Everest. The ocean floor is not flat. In fact, it has more mountains than all the continents combined. These underwater mountains are called seamounts. Some are extinct volcanoes. Some are still active. And stretching across the entire planet is the mid-ocean ridge, the longest mountain range in the world. It runs for over 65,000 kilometers. It's longer than the Andes, the Rockies, and the Himalayas combined. And most people have never heard of it. Hydrothermal vents, life without sunlight. In 1977, scientists made a discovery that changed biology forever. They found hydrothermal vents. These are cracks in the ocean floor where superheated water shoots out from inside the earth. The water can reach 400 degrees Celsius. That's hotter than boiling water. Around these vents, entire ecosystems thrive. But here's the shocking part. There is no sunlight. These organisms do not use photosynthesis. Instead, they use chemosynthesis. They survive using chemicals from the earth itself. Tube worms taller than humans. Blind shrimp. Strange crabs. Life powered by the planet's core. This discovery made scientists rethink everything. If life can exist here, maybe it can exist on icy moons like Europa orbiting Jupiter. Maybe oceans under alien ice also hide life. The deepest place on Earth. Now we go deeper. Almost 11,000 meters down. The deepest known point in Earth's oceans. The Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench. To put that into perspective, if you dropped Mount Everest into it, the peak would still be underwater. The pressure here is over 1,000 times stronger than at sea level. Only a few humans have ever visited. In 2012, filmmaker James Cameron descended alone into the trench. He described it as alien, empty, silent, like another planet. And yet, scientists have found life even there. Tiny shrimp-like amphipods, microorganisms, even fish species adapted to crushing pressure. Life finds a way. A dark discovery. But here is something disturbing. Scientists have discovered plastic waste at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Even in the deepest place on Earth, human pollution exists. We have touched places we have barely explored. Think about that. Shipwrecks, the ocean's graveyard. The ocean floor is also a graveyard. There are an estimated 3 million shipwrecks beneath the sea. Ancient trade ships, war submarines, lost treasure vessels. One of the most famous is the Titanic. It rests 3,800 meters below the surface of the Atlantic Ocean, in total darkness, slowly being consumed by bacteria. Today, the wreck is covered in deep-sea life. It has become an artificial reef. History preserved in silence. Underwater volcanoes and explosions. More volcanic activity happens underwater than on land. Entire islands are formed from underwater eruptions. Massive underwater landslides can trigger tsunamis. Methane hydrates, frozen gas trapped under the seabed, hold enormous amounts of carbon. If released suddenly, they could affect Earth's climate dramatically. The ocean floor is not peaceful. It is active, powerful, alive. The unknown. Scientists estimate there could be millions of species we haven't discovered yet. Creatures we cannot imagine. Ecosystems hidden in darkness. Every deep-sea expedition discovers something new. New species, new behaviors, new mysteries. And remember, we have explored less of the ocean floor than the surface of the moon. Less than Mars. Less than some asteroids. Most of our own planet remains unseen. The final thought. The next time you look at the ocean, remember, beneath the waves lies the largest unexplored frontier on Earth. Mountains taller than Everest. Volcanoes erupting in darkness. Creatures glowing like stars. Lost ships. Alien ecosystems. And places so deep, so silent, so extreme, that only a handful of humans have ever been there. The ocean floor is not empty. It is a hidden world. And we are only beginning to understand it. The real question is not, what is down there? The real question is, what is still waiting to be discovered?